Hi there, don't forget to click subscribe. This post was first published on creepypasta.org by user Mimichu. Freak Show. Are you looking to bring sparkle and pizzazz to your life? Are you looking for a brand new ambiance? Well, come join us at Shadow Haynes' circus this Saturday. Watch death-defying feats that will simply amaze you. Laugh with the clown acts. See our contortionists, magicians, living statues, and more. You won't believe your eyes. Come one, come all. The man on the corner sounded like a cannibal barker. In a way, I suppose he was. Advertising and enticing with a fake syrupy charm. Dressed in a too small pinstripe suit and a shabby top hat, he certainly looked the part. His black handlebar mustache didn't hurt either. My best friend Kissy Preston punched me in the arm. Hey, wanna go? Might be fun. She grinned as she watched the tall, lanky man wave his arms and continue his spiel. Oh, I don't know. Sounds pretty childish to me. Can't we find something better to do? I stuck my hands down into the pockets of my plum-colored cardigan sweater. Besides, I don't have any money. Elle spent my allowance already. Pam, what did you go and do that for? Hey, I didn't know the circus was coming to town. It's never been here before. Excuse me, young ladies. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shadow Haynes, proprietor of the circus that will commence on Saturday at noon. The gentleman who had been standing on the corner just moments before bent at the waist and tipped his hat. I couldn't help but overhear your dilemma. Please accept these 2 tickets on my behalf. His words sounded old-fashioned and worn. Why? I was suspicious of the man's intentions. People just didn't give things away for no reason. Shadow Haynes giggled and twisted the edge of his long mustache. Why, indeed, lass. I have been in such a position myself, in want of experiencing the finer things of life, in want of experiencing adventure, but alas, no funds to speak of. But with my circus, I have amassed a grand fortune. Why not share that with others? Chrissy bounced on her toes, her bright blue eyes sparkling. Come on, it's day after tomorrow. It's summer. You're always saying your mom complains you're underfoot too much, please. I relented. Okay, we'll go. Fine choice, Pamela dear. Shadow Haynes' upper lip curled slightly. I look forward to seeing you both. The traveling roadshow evoked a throwback era of nostalgia with its high-pitched tents, a merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, and Cupid doll-like games. Let's go ride the roller coaster, Pam. Chrissy tugged on my arm, almost ripping my blue-striped blouse. So we came to watch the circus, I scolded. We can do that after. The girl in icy blonde pigtails and a pink baby doll jumper was a few years younger than myself. She was a good friend, but at times more like a pesky little sister. And we can check out the arcade later too? Yes, in the arcade. We walked across the enormous asphalt parking lot hand in hand. Where were all the cars? There were no trucks, no vans, not even any bicycles or scooters. Phil knew we weren't early. Had we gotten the time wrong? I watched the show in a mixture of confusion and boredom. The overweight acrobats wore gaudy, out-of-style sequins. The scrawny tigers looked exhausted and uninterested. Where were all the families? Where were the children? Sad clowns with rudimentary circus skills leapt and tumbled to creepy, slow-moving music. Mediocre jugglers flipped and danced. Stilt walkers struggled and 2 unicyclers crashed into one another. I swear I saw blood. So are you having a good time? Chrissy asked, a meekness in her voice that I had never heard before. No, I replied flatly. Well, I'm sorry. We would have been better off staying home, watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer reruns and eating greasy potato chips. It's not your fault. And it wasn't. Wanna leave? Chrissy pouted. Yes, please. As we stood from our rusty seats, proprietor Shadow Haynes stepped onto the wooden stage and spoke into a crackling microphone. Good afternoon, lady and lady. He nodded his head in our direction. Well, I'm hopeful you have found delight in our showmanship this fine day. That would be a big fat no. Chrissy screamed across the big top tent and I clamped my hand over her mouth. What she means is we just thought it would be a little more flashy, a little more glitzy and glamorous. Is that so? I am so terribly disappointed that you are disillusioned. The man snapped his long fingers in the air. I tell you what, how about a soda on me, orange, okay? He snapped his fingers again. Within moments, a fat, sad clown with a pink scarred rubber ball for a nose presented us with 2 jumbo-sized paper cups, sloshing an orange fizzy liquid on the dirt floor, metal railings, and our laps. He covered his garish mouth and slinked away. Foam tickled my nose and I giggled as I gulped down the goodness. It tasted like a sweet hard candy. Chrissy licked at the fiery ring around her lips and laughed, deep and hearty. Shadow Haynes had made up for his performer's ineptitude with the beverage. I was about to ask for more when he spoke again. He narrowed his eyelids to mere slits. Have you children ever seen a freak show before? Boy, he sure is loud. Elle winced and looked at Chrissy. Freak, freak, freak. Her mouth slashed back to her ears as she said the word. That sounds so funny. We laughed until our sides ached. Follow me behind this curtain, and you will see a concoction of oddities you will not see in a million lifetimes. Someone grabbed my shoulder, and then my world became a stark white canvas. My right elbow jarred against something hard and Elle jolted awake. I had an excruciating headache and my vision was blurry. Chrissy was crying softly by my side. What is it, Chrissy? What's wrong? She wailed. We're freaks, Pam. He made us freaks. Look what he's done. Sitting up was futile. Blood was on the left arm of my ripped blue-striped blouse and... Chrissy? Chrissy was on my arm too. Not just on my arm, but in my arm. We were sewn together. Big, thick sutures from the sides of our necks down to our hip bones. Don't struggle. You'll rip apart and each bleed to your death. Shadow Haynes raked his eyes along our conjoined bodies and snickered. After the stitches heal, you can move about more freely. Within reason, of course. He sat back on his haunches inside the large, barred window stagecoach-type wagon and proceeded to peel a red-skinned apple. What have you done? I spat. What the hell have you done? Crack me open a book about circus attractions, you know? What lures people in and what brings on the money. These twin brothers, Laszlo and Levon Wernigan, were Siamese, stuck together at the chest. Folks came from miles around to gawk at them and to throw money at their three shriveled little bony feet. He took a big sloppy bite out of his apple. And there were these twin sisters, Dawnie and Victoria Haverford, who were crammed together on the sides. They had the usual legs and feet, and they began a dancing circus show when they were only 4. I bet folks fell in love with those girls. He pointed his paring knife at us. They'll love you girls too, you wait and see. We're gonna be rich. Yep, we're gonna be rich.